Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. Before we get started with your love reading for the week coming up, just letting you all know that I'm giving away the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook, a lovely box set. This is the same deck I used in this reading, and all you have to do to be eligible is be subscribed to my channel and leave me a comment letting me know that you're interested. All right, guys? So, getting right into it, we're going to pull out your romance angels, your animal spirits, and your spreads. The reading. All right. So Sagittarius, we have heart-to-heart conversations for you. Time to have that talk, right? We have this could be the one. Lovely. The bumblebee and the vulture. Heart-to-heart conversation, and this could be the one, but there's definitely some work that needs to be done, some dirty work with that vulture. All right, so your person is resonating with Six of Pentacles this week, and you are resonating with the Knight of Wands. Your person sees you as a Two of Swords, and you see them as resonating with Knight of Cups. They see their role as the Hierophant, and you see your role in the relationship as the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Page of Pentacles. So there's a lot of page energy going around this week, and so that just indicates a lot of relationships are either very young or dealing with people who are quite immature, I want to say, or younger than you, perhaps. Maybe these are some of the relationships that we, in my collective, that the readings are focusing on. But yeah, let me move some of these down. So this is interesting. There is Page of Pentacles at the bottom. So we have an energy of dealing with money and material things, right? Trying to get a lot of things done here in the real world. It has a feeling of sort of really having to sort of get out and get shit done. You know what I mean? Or solve problems, you know, run errands, complete tasks, activities, right? To keep the machine going. And the bee and the vulture, the bee is very, very hard working. So we can associate the bee and the Page of Pentacles also being very, very practical, very hard working. So there's an air of that that's impacting this relationship this week. So your person's resonating with Six of Pentacles, Sagittarius, and you are resonating with Knight of Wands. So they're really quite busy right now having to take care of a lot of people. Six of Pentacles definitely indicates someone who has money and who has, I want to say to a certain degree, a sense of responsibility to help those around them. Sometimes they may even have responsibilities to helping family members or friends or being a benefactor to someone. This is someone who is has charity in their heart. Six of Pentacles is that energy of giving and taking, but, you know, being happy to give, right? But sometimes it can also indicate just having responsibilities for a lot of different people who depend on you. And so your person is dealing with that. You're resonating with Knight of Wands, which is interesting, Sagittarius, because you're kind of like their support system, I want to say. The Knight of Wands really indicates someone who's very passionate, who's very motivational. The Knight of Wands is air of fire. So the Knight of Wands is someone who's going to vocalize his passion. So he's, you know, when he feels strongly about something, he's going to big you up. He's going to pump you up. He's going to help you keep your spirits up. He's also someone who's going to run right in there and he can be the one who comes in like a bodyguard and says, hey, this isn't supposed to happen. You know, his anger can also be highly vocalized and come out like that also because Wands is fire. So Knight of Wands is really somebody who's, you know, they're just going to be very out and about with their energy. They're going to, you know, they're generally going to put their mind towards anything that they feel passionate about. And I think that you're resonating with this Sagittarius in a lot of ways because you're probably coming in, and I feel this, you're coming in there to sort of help your person. You're like their cheerleader this week because what they're doing, this feels like it's a heavy responsibility. They want to do it, you know, it's part of their psyche to be this person, right, which is good to help others, but it's a heavy burden that they're carrying. This is just how the energy feels to me. And again, we do have the vulture here. Now, the vulture is that animal spirit that is the one who really has to deal with a lot of the dirty work in life, right? They clean up the mess. After death comes in and everything's dead and now things are rotten and the leftovers are there, the vulture is the one in our ecosystem who has to come in and clean that up. So we see that symbolic of his spirit. The vulture is a strong animal spirit for really being undervalued and being a necessity in order for us to even carry on surviving. And so it could be that your person is having to do some really difficult work here with the vulture, clean up somebody else's mess, as it were. And it's hard work. It could be very emotional. So that's coming in. And so your person is seeing you as the Two of Swords, and you see them as the Knight of Cups. So this is quite sweet. They see you as really being stuck with a decision. That's interesting that they would see you as resonating with Two of Swords. So this is what they see you as, like somebody who's maybe wrestling with a certain decision or caught in a certain space where you're not sure which way to move. And it's interesting that they would see you as that. You're seeing them as a Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups is someone who comes in and hands you their cup of love, someone who's sweeping you off your feet. I wonder, has your person maybe offered to marry you? Right? Because looking ahead with the Hierophant and the Page of Cups, heart to heart, and this could be the one, it could be that they see you as the Two of Swords because they're wondering whether or not they're going to ask you to marry you, or they may have already asked you to marry them and you are not answering, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of love here. And here for you to see them as Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is someone, although oftentimes we talk about the Knight not being very committed, it still depends on the energy of the reading and the position. He is indeed the one who comes in and sweeps you off your feet. So if somebody is going to make a proposal, it will be the Knight of Cups because he's the one who comes in. Again, Knights are air. So here with air of water, we're talking about somebody who vocalizes their feelings, and a proposal is something like that. So it's interesting. I just felt that coming through. Nevertheless, this could be also for some of you, it may not be that situation at all. It may just be that your person sees you wrestling with a really particularly difficult decision that's somehow impacting this relationship. And again, it doesn't have to be marriage. It could be something else. But I do feel like it's something to do with the relationship, because for you to see them as the Knight of Cups, they've come in and offered you something, and they see you wrestling with the decision, being unable to make a decision. So certainly something has come up here. And you do have heart-to-heart conversations, which indicates there is something that needs to be discussed. Vulture, again, doing the dirty work, dealing with the situations in life that aren't so pleasant but need to be dealt with. There could be some kind of blockage here that's stopping you, Sagittarius, from making the decision or answering their question or answering their offer. And this blockage requires a heart-to-heart conversation. It may be about something else altogether with the vulture, but it's a difficult situation. Again, the vulture talks about situations that are difficult, but that have to be handled. The Hierophant and the Page of Cups. So your person is resonating with the Hierophant as how they see their role in the relationship. And again, this made me feel like maybe they asked you to marry them, because the Hierophant talks about making that commitment, that unshakable, undeniable commitment, right? And oftentimes can indicate marriage, because that commitment for some of us, in the eyes of our God, that marriage, it's holy. A lot of people, of course, people consider marriage holy, but whatever holy means to them, right? So again, this reminds me that your person is one who also likes the status quo. They like sort of, structure and order and what is accepted, because the Hierophant also kind of represents the agreed upon status quo, or the agreed upon sort of set of beliefs sometimes. It can indicate sort of, what society agrees is right, and adhering to that sometimes. Sometimes it's just your own spiritual beliefs and faith, but it really depends. In either case, it's a sense of dharma and what is the right way to live and to conduct yourself, and committing to that. And so again, this would indicate them really wanting to make this commitment with you in the eyes of their God. You're the way you see yourself, Sagittarius, is a Page of Cups, because you're kind of like, and I think this is what is going on here. I think your person is wanting to be way more serious and committed in a very certain structured way than you right now. And you are just, if you see them as Knight of Cups, but you're seeing yourself as Page of Cups. Page of Cups is kind of very sweet, loving energy, but it's certainly not the kind of energy that says yes to a marriage proposal. It's Page of Cups. It's very youthful. It's very young. Again, we have Page of Pentacles here. Again, this, I said earlier, this indicates a lot of working, a lot of practicality. It could be that you yourself, Sagittarius, are at the beginning of something with your career and your life, and you're just not in a space to get married. You love them. You have Knight of Wands, which means you do feel very enthusiastic and happy. You see them as Knight of Cups, which is nice. You see them as someone who comes in with a cup of love, and I think you love them. Because it says this could be the one, but I just don't think that you are necessarily ready for whatever this proposal was, because I think it's a little bit just too much, right? It's just too much, and that makes perfect sense why they would see you wrestling there with that Land of Indecision card, Two of Swords. Two of Swords is like you're between a rock and a hard place. You don't necessarily want to marry them because it's too much, but you don't want to say no because you really do love them and you don't want to lose them. So you're in a tricky spot. You know, you're in a very, very tricky spot. Now, the bee is there also because the bee can also indicate friends. And it is the animal spirit for sort of democracy. But it's also the animal spirit for friends, friendships. People who are very helpful. You know, they're always the ones who are going to help you out in any situation. They're very, very creative. Right. And they also, bees, you got to remember what they do in the wild. They pollinate. So they promote growth and they promote growth amongst other organisms, right? Coming together and growing something. So it could be that for some of you, you may have some friends, Sagittarius, who could help you with this and how to handle this. Or you may be resonating with some bee energy somewhere along the line is going to give you a little bit more of a creative outlook on how to move forward here. Five of Cups and the Devil. Wow. Lovers. And the Nine of Pentacles. There's your independence. And that's exactly what I was talking about you may be starting your own path and career. Ten of Wands. Unburdening. Okay, so I see you have Nine of Pentacles there. And this is what I was talking about earlier about the Page of Pentacles. It seems to me that you have this really youthful attitude, Sagittarius, towards your love relationship. And I'm a Sagittarius by myself, by the way. So I get Sagittarius. I have 4 planets in Sagittarius. So Page of Cups, you have this really kind of like, I love you, but I'm not that like ready to make this huge commitment. And I was saying that you have this really youthful attitude, but also it could indicate that you're quite you're just now starting something new in your life. You're just now beginning to start your own life and go after your own dreams. Page of Pentacles does indicate that, the youthfulness, the beginningness, the newness of something when you start a new project or you start a new sort of, I want to say, career path or business path, and you're at the very beginning of it. That can also be indicated by Page of Pentacles. And Nine of Pentacles comes in to confirm or certainly reaffirm that this is a Sagittarius who's very, very independent. Nine of Pentacles is very independent, highly successful individual who really likes their own space. And right now, the only thing important to them is their path, their growth, their career growth or business growth. And it's not a bad thing. It's an ambitious thing, right? It's just how they are. Nine of Pentacles is one of the cards that's closest to the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who's very emotionally invested in their career as well. It's certainly someone, though, who's not necessarily ready for marriage. Yet the Lovers comes in for you because you're absolutely in love with them, and I don't think you want to lose this relationship. So you're in a weird conundrum. They, however, are resonating with Five of Cups and the Devil, and so they're resonating with a little bit of, I want to say a little bit of toxicity, little toxic energy, or a little bit of baggage that they're carrying. Because Five of Cups indicates really sort of being depressed over relationships from the past, how they may have broken down or how everything went down in them, and kind of just like being very regretful. Also, sometimes it can just indicate this feeling of thinking that things will never get any better, that it's always going to be like it was the last time. It's an internal power struggle. Remember I said 5 is the number, I always say 5 is the number for power struggle, and I always have a 5 somewhere in my readings. Five of Cups is that internal power struggle that we have when we are, going between negativity and pessimism and just wallowing in the past and not wanting or having the strength to believe in the future being different, or choosing to believe that the future is going to be different and having that strength to let go of the past and try again, which requires a lot of courage. And that's an internal power struggle with Five of Cups, and that's what your person is having. And I think they're feeling like this. They may have indeed asked you to do something like move in, or some level of commitment has been raised by them, and I think they've put it to you as a question or put the ball in your court. And they're feeling really depressed about the fact that you haven't answered them just yet. They're feeling, I think, very negative. And they're also getting led right down this kind of toxic path with the devil. You know, the devil comes in to tempt us at times when we're feeling down. And it's almost as if, like, this person that you're dealing with, Sagittarius, because they're worried and because they haven't healed and dealt with this baggage that they're carrying, they're kind of in this loop here where they're really not, they're kind of like their own worst enemy. You know, they're struggling with the past and sort of maybe doing things a little bit differently with you instead of repeating the same mistakes. And they're also kind of wrestling with the devil here. Now, the devil is the 15. Here at Fan, it's the 5. It's a lot of 5s. The devil is also a power struggle. It's another power struggle, but it's again another internal power struggle that we have when we are unhappy with our sort of life or our ability to express ourselves the way we want to. You know, we can't be who we want to be or do the work we want to do or have what we want to have in a lot of ways, express ourselves the way we want to express ourselves. This is when devil energy, the other side of ourselves, tends to sort of look for satisfaction elsewhere, quick satisfaction, instant gratification. And this is how you get caught into, you know, codependent relationships and addictions and things like that. Everything that is associated with the path of the devil, the path of sort of like taking the easy road just to be happy in the short term. And it's interesting that that will come up for your person because they're really wrestling here. They wrestle with a lot, I think. And Sagittarius, you're kind of like, well, I'm busy with my career over here. I love you. I love you very much. And but my role in this relationship is Page of Cups, meaning I'm ready to give you a token of my love, but I really just don't have that much more to give. I only have a little bit to give you. I'm really on a path here. Knight of Wands is also indicating that not only are you supporting your person, but with all this independence here, can be indicating that you are right now on a very independent path for yourself also. 10 of Wands indicates an unburdening. It could be that you have most recently unburdened yourself from, ties and I want to say perhaps responsibilities from the past and baggage, and you're feeling very sort of light right now and able to move forward. You know, 10 of Wands and Knight of Wands, it indicates that you're really at a good place right now. And it's not surprising that you have so much Cups energy coming in, Sagittarius, because you're in the beginning, you're starting new and fresh and really getting the ball rolling for your own life. You maybe have just started a really nice new career or business with this 9 of Pentacles, and you just don't want anything to change, but your person is really resonating with a lot of emotional issues tied to their past, and tied to also their mindset and their way of thinking about the way things should be as far as their beliefs. And I think the most important cards here are these messages from the angels, that heart-to-heart conversations, and this could be the one, meaning, don't take it for granted, because this is maybe a very strong soulmate connection you have with somebody, yet at the same time, it needs work. It needs fine-tuning. It needs communication to get to a place where you're both happy. And so you really have to have those heart-to-heart conversations with them so that you guys don't go down that road of confusion and undervalue this experience you're having right now, which is what this vulture talks about also. Not undervaluing difficult experiences by just wanting to get through them and not really get the most out of them. This is a difficult time, I think, right now for you and your person, especially if they have asked you an important question you haven't answered yet. But it's all about going back to them and not leaving them hanging and not answering, but having that conversation so you guys can get over this communication and get to real communication and get to a place where you can make them feel better about this connection and reassure them. And at the same time, not necessarily having to go down this road that is, to me, whatever they asked you came out of a sense of fear of losing you. So they want to lock you down, and it's not going to work out that way for you, Sagittarius. I'm going to leave it right there. This is the March 29th to April 5th love reading for my lovely Sagittarius. I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to let me know if you're interested in a Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook. Don't forget to check out all your other readings. All right, all of that good stuff. Everything is in the description. When you join my channel, you subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to check out that join button. And you can also see how to become a member, and you get a lot of perks with that. Also, including a new Love Bomb love series that I'm starting off just for my members in April, so check that out. But for right now, Sagittarius, I'm just going to say have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for your love outlook. Bye-bye now.